All right, guys, welcome to Dropping Dimes. All right, I'm your host, Slava Horiana, brought to you by Four Corner Sports. Yes, guys, I am smiling because the NBA regular season is over. All right, we officially now know how the playoff bracket is going to go. And yes, this year we have the play-in tournament. And without further ado, let's get to it. All right, so as for the East, you're going to have Philly as the top seed. All right. They have home court advantage throughout the Eastern Conference. They are the 1 seed. With 2, you're going to have the Brooklyn Nets. 3, you're going to have the Milwaukee Bucks. And then following up by 4, yes, a surprising number 4, the New York Knicks. Yes, the New York Knicks are officially in the playoffs. All right. Would have never thought it. Vegas had them winning 28 games. They ended up winning 41. Vegas never gets it wrong by that much. Wow, that is crazy. I got to see the numbers on Vegas on which teams that they ended up picking completely wrong, right? And then them messing up by that much. That's crazy right there. It's crazy. The Knicks are in the playoffs for the first time since 2013. All right, so both New York teams are in. With the 5th seed, you have the Atlanta Hawks. What a great turnaround. The addition to Lou Williams, it was great. I mean, they departed from Rondo. They have Rondo go to the Clippers, but Trae Young's been playing phenomenal. They got rid of the coach, Lloyd Pierce, and since then, I mean, they've been doing phenomenal work in the city of Atlanta. With the 7th seed, and now from 7 to 10, you're going to be in the play-in tournament. With the 7th seed, you have the Boston Celtics. Yes, Boston has not looked great at all. There's been a lot of injuries. I mean, you're not going to have Jaylen Brown for the remaining part of this season. He's out. Jason Tatum, he's a phenomenal player, phenomenal superstar, I would say. And he's stuck out there. He's on a very injured, depleted Boston Celtics team. Normally, the Boston Celtics are a top 4 seed in the Eastern Conference. But this year, because of injuries, they're nowhere near close. And with the 6th seed, I said 5th, and I went from 7. I went from 5 to 7. The 6th seed is the Miami Heat. Yes, Dade County, Miami Heat. Wow, Pat Riley knows how to do it well. I mean, they're in excellent position right now. They're going to be facing actually the Milwaukee Bucks. All right, so Milwaukee's going to be facing Miami Heat, a rematch of last year. Remember in earlier in the episodes, I had picked what's it called, Miami to beat Milwaukee. This year, as a preview, I don't have Miami beating Milwaukee this year. Milwaukee looks a whole lot better, a whole lot more improved. Sorry, guys. And what's it called? I just don't see Milwaukee getting bounced out in the first round. 7th seed is, like I said, Boston. The 8th seed is the Washington Wizards. Wow, what a turnaround that this team ended up having. Russell Westbrook being integrated in that offense. Bradley Beal kind of hurt. Russell Westbrook breaking the all-time record of most triple-doubles done in a career, surpassing the great Oscar Robertson, which I never would have thought that would have been happening. But when you saw Westbrook accumulating 20, 30, 40 triple-doubles in a calendar year, even averaging triple-doubles per season. All right, he did that 4 out of the 5 seasons that he's been playing. Didn't do it last year. Wow, it's just phenomenal stuff that what Russell Westbrook has done. Clearly, this is one of the reasons why he is one of my favorite players to watch. I mean, he brings high intensity, doesn't hold back, plays with an aggression, is willing to distribute the ball, willing to try to make his team better. Let's see what he's able to do against the Boston Celtics in that first play-in game. The 7 and 8 seed are going to face one another, and then the 9 and 10 seeds are going to face one another. If the 9 and 10 seeds beat each other out, the loser of that 9 and 10 game is eliminated. The loser of the 7 and 8 seed has to face the winner of the 9 and 10 seed. All right, if you guys understand what I'm talking about. So in the 9th seed, you have the Indiana Pacers. Indiana, good scrappy team. All right. Honestly, it doesn't surprise me whatsoever that they're in the play-in. But a team that does surprise me that they're in the play-in, didn't think they'll be in the play-in because they lost their young superstar earlier in the year, but ended up coming back healing quickly, is the Charlotte Hornets. Yes, the Charlotte Hornets are in the play-in, all right, with the ability to make an upset, all right, in the play-in tournament and try to squeeze into the playoffs. Yeah, it's gonna be phenomenal. Obviously, I'm gonna give you guys my picks as of right now for the play-in. So yeah, I have a feeling that with the way that Washington has been playing, I do believe that the Wizards are going to pull off the upset over the Boston Celtics. All right, Boston has looked depleted. They look banged up. They look hurt. I know you have like Carson Edwards playing and Taco Fall, Jason Tatum, but I just think that the tenacity that Russell Westbrook brings, I have him pulling off the upset over the Boston Celtics, putting them in an elimination mode, facing the winner of the 9 and 10 seed. Now, who I have winning in the 9 and 10 seed, guys, I have the Indiana Pacers beating the Charlotte Hornets. I just think Indiana has a lot of experience in these type of situations. I think that anything can happen, but I think Indiana can neutralize the defense neutralize the offense of Charlotte and play a very slow, poetic pace, allowing Indiana to grind it out and win a game. So that would leave Charlotte eliminated, and that would leave Boston and Indiana facing one another, which that would give me the favor of Boston winning that fight because of the fact that Boston has been there, done that. I believe they have the better coach in Brad Stevens. They'll be able to wiggle their way around. I don't see Boston losing 2 games in a row in a do-or-die type of situation, which would end their season. And if that's the case, the 7th seed would be the Wizards, the 8th seed would be the Celtics, and that would mean that the Celtics will end up facing the 76ers, and the Wizards will end up facing the Brooklyn Nets. Actually, that would be pretty crazy, just due to the fact that KD is on the opposite side on that court, and you're going to have Russell Westbrook playing for the Wizards. I will be looking up, and I'll be sitting my behind on the couch watching that game from start to finish. All right, guys. Now going into the West, all right. A little bit different on the West side because of the fact that Utah and Phoenix got the top 2 seeds in the Western Conference. Yes, Utah is the number 1 overall seed in the Western Conference, all right, followed up by Phoenix. Then you have Denver, the LA Clippers, then the Mavericks, then the Portland Trailblazers, all right. Honestly, I thought this year it was going to be the Lakers leading it with the number 1 overall seed, but because of injuries of AD, all right, not having LeBron, because he ended up twisting his ankle, right? I just feel that these type of things ended up delaying them. Ended up hurting them, ended up having them down all the way down to the 6th seed. All right, it's the 7th seed. They're the 7th seed. The Warriors are the 8th seed. In the 9th seed, you have the Grizzlies and the Spurs as the 10th seed. Crazy matchups. These play-ins are gonna be crazy. I think they started actually on. I want to say I think they start on Wednesday. Yeah, on Wednesday. Steph and LeBron, they have tons of history with one another, facing each other in the finals for many years. So I'm very excited because think about it, guys. In a do-or-die type of situation, I have Steph Curry beating the Lakers, right? He's been on fire, winning the scoring title. I think he should possibly win the MVP. He's been doing so much of the work, dropping 40, 44 points, 50 points. This guy's a lightning rod, all right? He's 33 years old. That's still considered young in my eyes, but in the NBA years, that's considered old. But when you had that sweet of a stroke, you guys, you can be playing up into your mid to late. Your early to mid 40s, right? I was just like tongue twisted around there. But yeah, guys, I have Steph Curry and the Warriors upsetting the Lakers in the play-in. All right, I know LeBron is gonna try to have to guard Curry. You're gonna have to throw Wes Matthews in there. All right, you're gonna have to run him off from the top of the key, make him try to drive in or kick it out to somebody else, make somebody else beat you outside of Steph Curry. But Curry's gonna try to drop his buckets. He's gonna try to jack up about 13 to 15 threes. He's probably gonna land about 8 of them, and each three that he ends up, getting in is just gonna have huge momentum for the Golden State Warriors. All right, Draymond is still there. You have Andrew Wiggins there, which let's see how Wiggins plays, because he, in my opinion, is the X factor. If he actually gives it his all right, he can actually play a huge factor in his playing. But if he just plays very mediocre, like how he was playing a little bit earlier in the year, then I can see the Lakers, as presumptive favorites, right, getting the victory over the Golden State Warriors. Now, for the 9 and 10 seed, the Grizzlies versus the Spurs, I got the Grizzlies winning. Grizzlies have a lot of momentum going their way. John Moran, I do feel that the Spurs are in the position that they're in just because of the fact that you have Greg Popovich, as your coach. He's a phenomenal coach, but I just think the talent isn't really there outside of DeMar DeRozan. All right, I just think there's not that much talent to be displayed over there to really compete with the Memphis Grizzlies. And even if they were able to get past the Memphis Grizzlies, they would have been eliminated by either the Warriors or the Lakers. All right. Now, since I said that the Warriors are going to be beating the Lakers, that would mean the Lakers face the Grizzlies. And with that being said, there's no way that LeBron loses back-to-back, elimination games in the playoffs. He does make it into the playoffs. The Lakers do make it. They'll be able to neutralize, John Morant and Jonas Valanciunas along with Dylan Brooks. I just see them winning that final playing game, which that would mean LeBron being the 8th seed, Steph being the 7th seed, and LeBron having to face the Utah Jazz, which, in my opinion, that just seems like a tough out right there, because Utah looks phenomenal. Right, Rudy Gobert. I want to see that matchup between him and AD. If they're at full strength, if AD and LeBron are at full strength, I'm going to favor them, but I'm going to favor them in 6 games. It's going to be a very grinding 6 games. I don't think they'll be able to, just sweep right through them and have blowout wins. No, I think it'll be very grinding 6 games, because I think Quinn Snyder is a phenomenal coach, and I think that he's going to be able to make the adjustments to try to make things a little more difficult for AD and LeBron. But just the talent alone of LeBron James and Anthony Davis is going to allow them to get past the first round and go into the second round. Now, after the second round, I'm not going to give you guys who's going to be able to win, just due to the fact that, we're not that far into the playoffs. The playoffs, I believe, start this weekend. Play-ins start on Wednesday. Now, as for the second and the 7th seed, the Suns and the Warriors, oof, guys, that's going to be great, because you have Chris Paul versus Steph Curry. All right, Draymond Green, back into the playoffs with Steph Curry after having an absence last year. Steve Kerr, who's been there, done that, is going to try to utilize, different mismatches, try to expose the Suns with lack of playoff, experience. Very excited to see that. How does Devin Booker do in the playoffs? How does DeAndre Ayton do? How does Bridges do? There's a lot of players that haven't been in the playoffs outside of Crowder and Chris Paul. And plus, Monty Williams, it's not like he's been in the playoffs, before as a coach. He has, but he's also facing his former his former mentor in Steve Kerr, who he was on that staff with, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And Steve Kerr to me, seems like the better coach than Monty Williams. Plus, he has Steph Curry, and whenever you have Steph Curry, I just think that, buckets are more likely to go in from the 3-point line, and obviously 3s are better than 2s, and the Warriors are just explosive. Just wait till when Klay Thompson comes back. It's gonna be bananas. It's gonna be bananas. And as for the Blazers and Nuggets, I got the Nuggets winning. I think that the Blazers are not gonna have enough. I think they're facing a very tough Nuggets team. It's a bad matchup for them, honestly, in my opinion, with Jokic and Michael Porter Jr. I know there's no Jamal Murray. He has a torn ACL. And I know Damian Lillard is going to have to carry the majority of the load, but I just think that too much firepower being thrown in the Nuggets can throw at the Blazers, like that could be a little bit very overwhelming. I see the Nuggets winning inside of 6 games. And as for the Clippers and Mavericks, this is a matchup that I think that people should be watching because of the fact that this is a matchup that can possibly go all 7 games. All right, all due depending on the play of Paul George. I think if Paul George is able to play extremely well to the caliber that he's able to play at, I think the Clippers can go an easy 5 games. But this has a potential of going 7 games because of the fact of, yes, Luka Doncic will be an X factor. All right, he'll be able to win you a couple games. But if Paul George does not play like the player that he's supposed to be, right, the player that he is in the regular season and not in the playoffs, then this series is honestly going to go 7 games, and at that point it could be hit or miss. But I do have the Clippers winning. All right, I have the Clippers winning inside of 6 games. All right, and moving on into the second round. So right there, that covers everything on the West. I actually did forget one team, one prediction. Actually, a couple predictions on the Eastern Conference. I didn't give you, the winner of Philly and Boston. I got Philly winning that matchup. All right, I got Philly winning that matchup inside of 5 games. Philly looks phenomenal with Ben Simmons, possibly being not rookie of the year. I'm sorry, defensive player of the year. He's looking great. He's definitely going to be first team all defense. I got Brooklyn winning in a sweep over the Washington Wizards. Just in a sweep. Russell Westbrook, once again, is not going to be able to get out of the first round. Runs into a freight train of the Brooklyn Nets, who has James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant. And obviously you have Blake Griffin and Joe Harris there. There's a lot of firepower. I said Milwaukee's going to beat Miami. The Knicks. The Knicks in Atlanta. I'm going to watch this matchup very closely because of the fact that I want to see the Knicks, do very well. I haven't seen them play in the playoffs since 2013 when Coach Mike Woodson was coaching the team with Carmelo Anthony as your star player. I want to say that the Knicks do get it done, all right, with Tom Thibodeau, having a top 5 defense on that court, playing very physical basketball, with Julius Randle being the star piece, right, along with R.J. Barrett, Emmanuel Quickley, Derrick Rose. I think those players that I just mentioned right there are going to be the main reasons why the Knicks win that series over Atlanta. I say they end up beating Atlanta inside of 6 games, and the Knicks will move on into the second round. All right, guys. Until then, guys, that's my predictions for the play-in, for the playoffs. Who's gonna make it into the playoffs from the play-in? Who's gonna advance to the second round? Tell me what you guys think. Tell me if you guys think that I'm wrong in certain matchups that I predicted. Tell me who you think is gonna be a superstar in the first round. That's somebody that you didn't think that was gonna be able to be phenomenal. For example, Jamal Murray last year in the playoffs, or you can have Donovan Mitchell last year in the playoffs. Somebody like that. Until then, guys, I'm Flav Oriana. Thank you for tuning in to Dropping Dimes. All right, and I'll see you guys next time. Please hit the like and subscribe button, though. All right, see you guys.